Sometimes I've joked with my wife that I feel like the Cal Ripken of Monterey Market. Remember that baseball player who was famous just for showing up every day, for never missing a game and doing his job the same day after day? I've thought of him not a few times over this last year because every single Tuesday afternoon, I'm pretty sure since COVID began, I have showed up and picked up groceries at that amazing place in North Berkeley. That's just part of my routine. But yesterday it felt different. Yesterday it felt different. A day removed from the latest mass shooting at a grocery store in Colorado. I walked around the aisles with my neighbors. Of course, we were already masked and a little shy of each other, trying to protect ourselves from the threat of COVID. And then there was this whole new threat, this whole new possibility that was still locked in our minds. And I just want to speak for a minute today about what it's like to live right now when so many of these public spaces can become spaces filled with apprehension, if not terror. I dropped off Zoe this morning at her new preschool and again thought about how that kind of space, because of some of the violent acts that have occurred in this country over the last 10 years, how even that space is a space filled with apprehension as well sometimes. And just sort of thinking, how do we go on? How do we keep finding meaning in the day-to-day right now? And then I sat down after I dropped Zoe off. I sat down in my backyard for a few minutes and I looked at the dandelion stalks coming up out of the grass and the purple flowers whose names I've never learned but are perfect flowers for this season of Lent. And this poem came into my mind, Try to Praise the Mutilated World. That's the title of it. It comes from a Polish poet, Adam Zagajewski. And he actually died this past week, so a lot of people have been sharing this poem on social media. And I think it speaks to what we might all be feeling today. And it speaks to some of the glimpses of beauty that we had to give up during COVID that are also starting to come back. So I'll end today's devotional by just reading it to you. Try to praise the mutilated world. Try to praise the mutilated world. Remember June's long days and wild strawberries and drops of rosé wine. The nettles that methodically overgrow the abandoned homesteads of exiles. You must praise the mutilated world. You watched the stylish yachts and ships. One of them had a long trip ahead of it, while salty oblivion awaited others. You've seen the refugees going nowhere. You've heard the executioners sing joyfully. You should praise the mutilated world. Remember the moments when we were together in a white room and curtains fluttered. Return in thought to the concert where music flared. You gathered acorns in the park in autumn and leaves eddied over the earth's scars. Praise the mutilated world and the gray feather a thrush lost and the gentle light that strays and vanishes and returns.